So this beautiful young woman's butt is in my face, and all I wanted to do was touch that thing. She had so much good smelling perfume that it made it even better. I get really close, right on top of it, and then... So going back to school for me was like the best time. Being in somewhat lockdown right now, I can look back at old memories in school and think, damn, dude, those were some good times. There were some things that just made school 10 times better. Like girls, bro. Looking back in my younger years, I primarily went to school just to talk to girls. Sure, I didn't have as much game as these perm boys, but I could make girls laugh. Even just myself doing something stupid or saying a funny joke, I had it all, man. You know what they say? If she laughs to your jokes, she'll moan to your strokes. But that wasn't me all the time. Sure, my 15-year-old hormones wanted that, but I knew deep down that isn't what I always wanted. Let me tell you, I'm a simp. Like, not as bad as like a tier 3 Pokimane simp, but I was pretty bad. At a certain point, I was considered bitch boy. But actually, today we're not talking about girls in my grade. We're talking about the teachers, man. I don't know what it was, but some of these teachers were hella bad. Maybe it's because my whole grade was just a bunch of ghetto ass girls. But I always had a good day knowing I had a hot teacher and I was sitting in the front of the class. I had a good show. No disrespect though. But this never started until 6th grade. Now in our district, it was different from normal schools. Elementary school consisted of pre-K to 6th grade. Then in middle school from 7th to 8th grade. Then off to high school. But back in 6th grade, I had a super attractive homeroom teacher. Let's talk about her. Now in 6th grade, we moved around classes because we were going to middle school and we had to get ready to move from class to class. Now in 6th grade, I had a big crush on my teacher. Let's call her Miss Mary. In 6th grade, every dude had a crush on her. She was like a 5'4" thin woman with bright blue eyes and luscious blonde hair. She knew me from my brother and sister who had her in the previous years, so we weren't complete strangers. She put me in the center of class because I was kind of a troublemaker in her class. Only to get her attention though. Things things like yelling dumb shit in the middle of silent reading or throwing things around the classroom to get my friend's attention. I did this on purpose so I could get her attention, like I said. But looking back, I was like what, 12? That would never happen between a 12-year-old and a 24-year-old, let me tell you. Sure, I would go home and imagine that at night in my dreams, but it never worked out like that in real life. But I had a perverted childhood like that, so my hormones were all over the place. Now, this is where the story gets good, let me tell you. Since she was my homeroom teacher, she taught our class first. Side note, when someone is your homeroom teacher, they're the ones that are teaching your class first, and then you go off to your other classes. Anyway, so she was our homeroom teacher and our social studies teacher. Now, it was in the middle of the school year, so she probably knew all of us pretty well. We had this huge project that consisted of us making a poster for something. It was so long ago, I can't really remember. I was paired up with my good buddy Noel. Man, I don't even know if he knows about this channel. Anyway, but we both had a huge crush on her. Now, if you can't already tell, she's super attractive. She had a super funny sense of humor and she was super smart. What made it even better was that she was single, so we thought we got this in the bag. But if you ever told her how you felt, best believe you were getting suspended and taken out of her class. And we didn't want that, so me and my buddy just exchanged looks like, dang, you see her rocking that dress. Side note, before you say, oh my god, you're so perverted, give us a break. We were like 12 or 13 thinking we can get with her. Anyway, so working on the project, we were really far behind from everyone else. I mean, no shit. Because we were best friends, so we just messed around the whole time. But she noticed that we were struggling and came over. Now, in the classroom, all the desks were taken up by other people doing their poster project, so we were on the floor. And this made it arguably better. Why? Because she was wearing a skirt. Yes, I know. You don't have to tell me again. We were pretty perverted. You don't, you know that, okay? So she bent down and looked at our project. I was probably up at the front of the class sharpening my pencil, so Noel was there by himself. I came back and sat down on the floor, right behind her. Not on purpose, but because I thought she saw me. Then the moment happened. Her butt was so close to my face, I was so scared. Again, she didn't see me there, and it wasn't her fault. Maybe it was my fault. But my boy Noel had given me a hand gesture to touch it. Again, sweating hard as hell because I was never this close to a girl's butt, not including the fact that she was a 24-year-old cute young adult. So my hormones were tripping hard. Let's recap. This beautiful woman butt was in my face and all I wanted to do was touch it. She had such good smelling perfume that it made it even better. So I was going in, trying to not make it look suspicious, and then she turns around. She just sees my hand right over her butt and she didn't know what to do. I tried to play it off cool like I was reaching for a marker, but the damage was already done. She finished my friend's question and walked back to her desk. I was so embarrassed because I didn't know what to do after that. Once the class ended, the whole situation was over. She never brought up that again. She knew I had a huge crush on her, so she wouldn't be so surprised for me to be in that situation. As I walked to my next class, which was the computer lab, I was telling Noel the whole thing, and he was just laughing his ass off of how stupid I was for not touching it. Sitting down in the computer lab was another super attractive teacher. But that's a story for another time. So, moral of the story is, don't go out with people your own age. I mean, do go out with people your own age. And if you have the urge to be with an older teacher, just don't. Go home and jerk off or something.